Hi, I'm Bethany Wallace, owner of CareerCoachBethany.com. I provide one-on-one career coaching services for clients, and I also work with employers to provide professional development, training, and presentations on career-related topics and on workplace improvement services. So I want to talk to you a little bit today about some networking tips, particularly for seniors in college, because it is March and graduation is basically 2 months away. And so if you've been dragging your feet a little bit about applying for jobs or getting out there and really, branding yourself and networking, then now is the time to go ahead and do it. It's not really too late. Although, I mean, of course, it would be better if you started that process long ago, but, better late than never. So the first thing that I'll tell you is that you really need to read the article on my blog at CareerCoachBethany.com that's going to accompany this video, because there are some additional tips offered by Matt Crumry and Becky Warren, and those tips are really great, and they're going to just really supplement the things that I'm going to say in this video. Okay, so first of all, make sure that when you go to networking events that you don't just show up, bring business cards or get business cards, shake people's hands, and look great. I'm not saying that those things aren't important, but the most important thing you can do when you attend a networking event or a career fair is to talk to people. If you don't actually engage in real conversation or dialogue with other people at networking events, then you are missing the most important thing about a networking event. And how do you do that? Well, if you're at all introverted, the easiest thing to do is to try, when you attend a networking event, to find 3 people you don't have, a previous relationship with, or have, consider them a contact, and reach out to those 3 people. Any 3 people, really. Preferably if you can, establish contact with 3 new people who are related to your major or your program of choice or your career field, your dream career, your dream job. Or if you're at a career fair, then target those 3 employers that you're most interested in. That's a great way to go about that. And for one thing, it gives you something to focus on, so you're a little bit less nervous. And secondly, then you are guaranteed that you're going to leave that event with 3 business cards, 3 people to follow up with, and you're going to walk away knowing that you made good use of your time. So I would always do that. Secondly, make sure that you update your social media prior to networking events, prior to going to career fairs, prior to networking even with alumni, because even just recently I attended, it was an event on a college campus and some students were there. I was serving as like an alumni representative at the event. I interacted with a student who I found very engaging, super smart, very business savvy, and I checked out her social media page, one of her social media profiles that night, and was just a little turned off by some of the content. So I just chose not to send an invitation to connect. So just make sure that whatever you're putting out there online really is the same or reflective of who you are face to face. You really want to make sure that you're putting your best self out there all across the board, face to face, online, in writing. Make sure that it's like a consistent brand all the time. That's really part of networking. I don't believe you can separate branding and networking, because in this day and age, really, social media and the online world is all really meshed together with what we do face to face, particularly in recruiting and in the world of HR and hiring. Make sure that you don't just focus solely on people when you're networking, people with big names or big titles, because you're going to be overlooking a lot of people who may have those little bitty insignificant titles, but you never know who those people are connected to. You can't just go up to somebody and say, hey, I'm looking for a job in this field. Do you know anybody who's important who could help me? Well, I mean, I guess you could do that, but that's so tacky. Don't do that. So you just need to start thinking of networking as just building relationships and getting to know people. It's just life. You're just building a life. You're just getting to know people. And if you can relax a little bit about it and just get to know people genuinely for who they are, you would be surprised at like some of the most interesting people that I've ever met are people who don't have any big title in front of their name at all. But I have made the best relationships, formed the best relationships with those people ever, and kept up with them forever. So make sure that you do the same thing, because you'll be surprised at what friendships you'll build. And also those little tiny people who seem so insignificant will give you the best references, will go out of their way to do kind things for you, and also sometimes really do know some of the most important people who can help you out later on. So don't ever be so impressed by people's titles that you overlook the really important people. I'll just leave you with those 3 tips for today. And if you need more help networking, then you just feel free to reach out to me at careercoachbethany@gmail.com. And you can also follow my blog at careercoachbethany.com, or follow me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, or on Pinterest.